Good evening, Mayor, City Council. A little bit about my plan as the Public Works Director is to redirect city resources to focus on providing a safe, clean, and green Antioch. And what that means is freezing some positions, filling some positions, and adding some new positions that are desperately needed. The requests made are minimal. They're the lower bar so that we can minimize any deferred maintenance and so that we can improve efficiency and get things done that need to get done in the city. What I mean by safe is I mean by getting to the projects of delivering traffic safety, traffic calming. Folks have discussed speeding and how to slow traffic down, and I need one of these positions helps at getting to the speed humps and those types of projects that I can't get to at this time with so much CIP projects to deliver. By clean, I mean focusing on picking up garbage, by fighting illegal dumping, and by cleaning up our landscape strips, our medians, and other areas throughout Antioch. And by green, I mean replanting medians and cleaning up the arterials, focusing on landscaping, focusing on purchase power agreements and the things that council have discussed here prior that's important to them. So with that, looking at the positions that I'm looking to go through is freezing the Deputy Director of Public Works to provide a savings so that we can minimize the impact on the general fund. That's the reallocation of dollars. We did that a few months ago with the Assistant City Engineer position, saving quite a few dollars. So taking the monies from these deputy positions and assistant city engineer positions and then refocusing them into getting landscape maintenance and park maintenance and other street maintenance work done. By the second item is to request a junior assistant associate engineer to deliver projects. We have projects that we didn't get to last year. We haven't been able to move the speed hump program forward. We have median projects that we want to accelerate on Hillcrest. We have pump station projects that we didn't do last year. We have a lot of projects that were in our CAP that we didn't get to. And we need some engineering staff to deliver those projects. Item number 3 is to add an administrative assistant at the marina. We currently have a temp at the marina, and the person is doing a fabulous job. To minimize costs, we are operating the marina with this administrative assistant type of person there. It's very affordable and reasonable and functional, and they're doing a fabulous job, and we want to continue that by making that position permanent. Item number 4 is an administrative assistant in the admin group. Right now we have 2 temps in our admin group, and we retrain them when they leave and get a new job somewhere else. We need to make the 2 temps into 1 permanent position. It will cost a little bit more money, but we do have sewer, water funds, and other funds to help minimize that cost. So it's more efficient for us to have 3 folks in the office that handle assistance with contracts and all the daily tasks, garbage cleanup and complaints and so forth. A stable workforce is very efficient and important, and having temps isn't as efficient, even though it's a lower cost. Number 5 is landscape maintenance worker. Right now we have 1 or 2 folks that run around repairing irrigation that's broken. If we find a valve that's stuck on, I've gotten a lot of calls of the same valve stuck on. We turn off the water and then it doesn't get fixed because we're spread too thin or things aren't getting fixed. Our irrigation is not, it's considered deferred maintenance, and the irrigation throughout this city needs to be repaired. So we're going to focus on repairing irrigation, stop watching our water wasted and go down the streets and gutters because our valves are sticking open or we have broken heads. And we have a lot of broken heads that need to get repaired, and we've been going through the green belts fixing them, and I think that's very important to add the landscape maintenance worker to help with that. Item 6 is the water treatment plant maintenance worker. And we, as stated before, in deferred maintenance means we're not getting the maintenance done that we need to, so things are just waiting. Sometimes it's an accident waiting to happen, so we need to continue focusing on maintenance and rebuilding some of the pumps and facilities at the water treatment plant that is funded with the water treatment funds. And then facility maintenance worker is to be split between the marina and our buildings, our general funded buildings. We we need to do a little bit more on our buildings. Most importantly, roofs and painting and so forth, and we need a little bit of assistance getting more facility maintenance done. And at the marina, because we saved money and did a little rearrangement with the admin staff, we should have enough money to help pay for half a maintenance worker at the marina. So part of that's general fund and part of that is marina maintenance funds. And it's important to to minimize deferred maintenance and keep up on our maintenance, fix our bathrooms, keep our facilities secured and do the maintenance, provide service. That's what this maintenance worker does. Whether it's taking care of the facility or repairing or just day-to-day items, we have a small backlog that we still would like to do more to minimize deferred maintenance. And that concludes my presentation. I'd like to answer any questions if you have any.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. It's very thorough. And so you're going to have to kind of help me walk through all this. So as I'm hearing, you talk about a clean, green city that's efficient and safe. So I'm kind of getting that as your mission, that's your goal of where you're getting us to. And you also talk about the freezing and adding positions. How are these, and you touched on it, but I want you to kind of elaborate so we can hear and the audience can hear, how are freezing and adding particular positions going to help you get to this goal of clean, green Antioch?
Some of the funds that for, like, since the assistant city engineer and the deputy director can be utilized to hire, what we have done is hired temporary workers that then turned around and went out into Antioch and did a vast amount of landscape maintenance work. And we took some of the funds to do additional cul-de-sac trimming. We've got some council reports coming for more maintenance work. And so by me pushing the responsibilities down to the superintendents and so forth to be more responsible, to learn how to do contracting and learn to do things that the deputy director or the assistant city engineer would do, by getting it pushed down, I'm able to take that money and that savings and then put it into actual physical improvements that people see visually out in our neighborhoods, by cleaning them up and getting temp workers to go pick up illegal dumping or lock gates at the park, or whatever work there is out there. So it's just getting more labor to maintain the city. We do a lot of contract labor, but the contractors aren't always there when you call them, and sometimes it takes city people. We have a minimum city staffing levels. We have the lower bar, and the rest of the work is covered by contractors.
So these city workers that you're talking about that are here will help you more efficiently?
Yes, we have 2 maintenance workers that provide the maintenance for the buildings. The rest are contractors. When a street light goes out, we call a contractor to repair a street light. Traffic signals, we call the county to repair the traffic signals. So we have minimum staffing levels. I got 3 landscape workers for the whole city. The rest are contractors. If the contractors don't perform, then we start struggling. And so now we're working on making sure that our supervisors hire the best contractors we can that are affordable. And that all takes staff, city staff, to make happen. To improve our parks, to deliver playgrounds, it takes city staff to make that happen. And then those people hire the contractors to get the work done. So we're going to get a lot more done next year and the following year, especially if we add these positions.
Okay, so I appreciate it, because I know I'm hearing I'm hearing from people in the community saying that they're seeing some things getting fixed. I know at last council meeting you talked about fixing the cul-de-sacs. So I appreciate this. And so, for you, really, I mean, it seems like you're already on the track of moving us forward. Where do you see us in 5, 10, 20 years as far as public works is concerned?
So Right now we have so for beautification, focusing and coordinating with our partners, Republic and code enforcement, to minimize the blight and be more responsive. There was an engine block on F Street that was dumped Thursday. It wasn't picked up until today. My goal is to pick up anything like that within 24 hours. And having those resources available wherever they come from. We had street crews pick up that engine block because Republic couldn't get to it and it was too heavy for code to pick up. So having the strategies of picking up those things and being proactive and trying to also deter folks from picking up garbage. With all the no parking, overnight parking signs along Wilbur, people can't hide behind the parked vehicles and dump. Their big trucks aren't there anymore. And so we've dramatically decreased the illegal dumping on Wilbur, and we'll continue fighting that fight, as well as other hot spots that we need to go after to curb illegal dumping. For blight, some of the blight is done by private property owners, but some of our property, our landscaping, needs to be replanted. A lot of it hasn't been replanted in 15, 20 years, some of the older medians and cul-de-sacs. The concrete the medians don't have stamped concrete, or they just have dirt. It's not attractive. The fences along L Street get hit, knocked down, need to be put up. Fighting all those issues, getting maintenance crews out there to respond, and then getting contractors where our folks can't do it to respond can be challenging. So we need staff to get our contractors out there to make the repairs and to pay the bills. We have a lot of accounts and a lot of different funding streams, and it takes a lot of effort working with budget and finance and our staff to spend the money wisely, correctly, get those things fixed. So there's the office work and then there's the field work, and having a balance of those folks available to get things done. So green is replanning and fixing the medians. A lot of people want Hillcrest median done. It's not scheduled for 2023. I'd like to do it next year. We have the money. I'd like to try to get that done. But I can't deliver that without somebody putting the specifications together, drawing up a plan, and then issuing a contract for that, and having office staff to process the paperwork.
So this restructuring basically is what you're giving us here is how we're trying to help you be more efficient in getting to a lot of items that come to us
A very balanced
quickly.
A very balanced approach in all different aspects of delivering projects. And we need each one of these areas to have that minimum level of staffing to function well. And right now we're kind of jumping after each issue crisis as it comes to try to get it taken care of. So we're not as efficient as we could be.
Yeah, I appreciate your report. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Watts.
Thank you, John. So from the sounds of it, is this enough? I mean, from like when you talk about this landscape maintenance worker one, is this going to accomplish what you're trying to get done here?
This is sustainable. So you don't want to hire too much and then have our gas tax drop, or have some of our revenue streams drop, or some people move out of the marina and lose funds and then have a problem. So what I want to do is present a sustainable budget. I think it's enough for the next 2 years. And if it's not, then we also have to look at succession planning, and also whether we need the deputy director or the assistant city engineer back, depending on where our focus is in 2 years. So this is like a 2-year plan to really focus on getting things done. It's enough, it's sustainable, and we have to look at the amount of money that we have to spend. This will spend most of probably 80% of the money that we have. I mean, it's not going to get everything spent, not going to get all the CIPs delivered, but it's going to get us quite a ways down the road.
So these contracts you have, sounds like they haven't been particularly effective. Is it more cost effective to have somebody in-house, or is it more cost effective to continue with the contracts?
It's more effective to continue with the contracts, but you have to have a good contract with liquidated damages and penalties if they don't perform. And so we had a couple holes in some of our contracts, and they're getting to administer better now with this current staff. And I think contracting is the way to go. But then again, we need a succession planning, and we need the staff to be experienced to administer those contracts. And we need on-call contracts in case we need additional help. We're all working, and we need staff to create those contracts. So I think this provides the staff to do all those things. And I think contracting is the smartest way to go. And I think Antioch is very smart at what they've done in the last 10 or 15 years. And I'm extremely pleased to be here delivering these projects. I just need a little bit more engineering staff, a little bit more maintenance staff in those areas. And I think you've got a great program.
And you were talking about a 24-hour turnaround and picking up the engine block or whatever. So is that through Public Services, or is it somebody here that's going to help you make that happen?
So we have a team. Kurt, myself, and Republic of Susan Hurl Republic have been working together closely the last couple of months and meeting on a process that a report, something will come in to either CEQA Fix or Public Works. The Public Works staff or code enforcement staff will assign it, and we're asking Republic to report back to us within 24 hours if they can pick it up. If they can't, then code will look and see if they can pick it up, and if it's too heavy, they could always call Public Works. We'll pick it up. So what we want is we want somebody to pick it up, and we're improving our communication so that happens, because we do have the ability to pick it up. It's just who's going to do it in the system that we have, and we're going to fix that system. And Republic is very willing to work with us, and they've been great, and we just need to continue improving.
All right, thank you. I think that's super important, getting these things off the street as fast as possible. The longer they stay out there, it just sends a message to the community that this is okay. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Councilmember Thorpe.
Yeah, so I only have a few questions regarding landscape maintenance. What is the overall budget for landscape maintenance?
So there's a lot of different budgets for landscape maintenance. There's assessment districts, there's park budgets. So there's no budget for rehabbing.
Okay.
So March 26, you may see an item utilizing, possibly creating a program. I'm working on it right now. It's got to go through review through the city manager, and looking at putting a capital improvement program together to revitalize, improve our medians, as we discussed, from Highway 4, and looking at our arterial corridors first. And we're going to go through it with the city manager.
So
and
I'm going to
program.
stop. I'm satisfied with
Okay.
that answer. I'm
right.
blown away. I'm excited to see that when the budget comes.
Awesome. John, you're doing a great job. As I run the numbers, it looks like you're actually adding and saving money. It looks like you're cutting $250 from the one frozen position. General fund wise, you're only asking for $160 really. The rest of that's coming from Marina Fund, Water Fund, Gas Fund. So you're really pulling from lots of sources. Back to Joy's question, and I think you've answered it well enough. You feel like this is something that, and I heard you, sustainable and is going to get you where you think you need to get over the next 2 years. The question on contracts, I know this past year, one of the issues, there was just a shortage of labor. With the fires in Napa, all that's going on, there's a shortage of labor. Are our contracts solid enough that when we need, we're going to have that labor to be able to call upon?
So the answer was just a few months ago is you're right, there was a shortage, and they weren't getting paid competitively, so they went somewhere else. So we added some liquidated damage clauses so that there would be penalties if the contractor didn't provide the labor, and we then provided additional funding. And that resulted in, it was successful in getting the contractor to show up. We've done some recent contracts. We are going to be paying more. Cul-de-sacs are, a little bit, 10, 15, 20% more, maybe even 30. We're going to be paying more because of this environment that we're in. but they're showing up. And so that's what's important. And the contracting amounts that we're paying is still less than a city employee at this time. Now, that's not to say that this will continue, because it could be, there could something come up with labor rates that need to go rise even farther, higher, and maybe someday the city staff will be more cost effective. But right now, I think there's a labor pool out there.
Very good. Thank you for your report.
Up next then will be recreation. So